Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana, but I go by Bougie Broke Millennial here on YouTube. I am currently budgeting my way through just under $34,000 worth of debt while trying to save for the future and live a comfortable lifestyle now. I do so using a software called YNAB, and I decided that I was going to document that journey. Before we jump right into the budget with me, I wanted to take a moment to explain my debt free journey and how I've gotten to this point in my debt free journey. If this is not something that you are interested in watching, I will try to either put a timestamp on the screen or leave one in the description below so that you can skip ahead of this part. So I started my debt free journey 3 times. I never stopped my debt free journey, but life has kind of happened, and that's been the whole thing with like my schooling and everything. So the first time I started my debt free journey was in July of 2017. I had just graduated from college. It took me 8 years to get my bachelor's degree. I used to be so ashamed of that, but I'm really proud of myself because I was the first person to go through college, and I really kind of went through a lot. Like, I went through college. So I went to community college first and transferred to university. So when I transferred in, I was supposed to be a junior. And in a perfect world, I would have had 2, maybe 3 more years to complete my degree. It took me 5. And part of that was finances, and the other part was my second year of university. My mother got breast cancer, and my mom was a caregiver for my grandmother. So when she got breast cancer, I kind of had to step up and be a caregiver for my grandmother. Did not mind doing it at all because my grandmother raised me. There's no tragic story there. My mom had me when she was a senior in high school. So when she graduated, she didn't go to college. She just started working. She worked 2 jobs. And whenever she wasn't working, if she would ask me, oh, well, do you want to go with me, or do you, whatever the case may be, I guess I was so used to being with my grandmother that I would say no, and she knew that I was safe there. She never fought the issue, so I seen my mom all the time, but my grandmother raised me, and me and my mom grew up more like sisters, but I always knew that she was my mom. Like, it was no deep, dark family secrets or nothing crazy. But anyway, she got breast cancer, and I took on the role of caregiver for my grandmother. We did get paid to do that, so it was like a job in itself. So I was working work study, working with my grandmother, going to school full time. And because like my mom had chemo sometimes, like I would miss class, and I just got so depressed and down and drained. And I got my first F in college, and like I just like I had that whole second year was really bad. But I kind of pulled myself up from it. I went to this really sad place. Like I said, I was stressed. And I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I started, kind of reading and trying to make sure I took my self care very seriously. So in my last 2 years of university, I had to take out student loans because I had been in school so long that I wasn't able to get any more grants. I wasn't able to take summer classes or anything like that because when I had transferred in, I was considered upper division, which is anyone who has over 60 credits. So when you're paying for classes, they were charging $562 at the time when I was in university per credit, and I couldn't afford to take like a summer class or anything to try to accelerate it. So it took the time that it took. Anyway, the last 2 years I took out student loans, and I ended up graduating from college with I borrowed 24,250. I had like 24,008 something because of capitalized interest and some credit card debt. So the first time I did my debt free journey, I was about $28,000 in debt. So after college, I had 28,000 worth of debt. I was looking for a job in my career field, working part time with my grandmother, and then also I got like a job part time at Walmart just until I found something so that I can, knock down this debt. I did that for 8 months, never found a job in my career field. but I did get my first full-time job. I was a loan counselor for student loans, and I really liked that job because I felt like it taught me a lot. And I had managed to get my loans down to about 21,000. And then April 2019, my grandmother had passed away. And when I moved out on my own, I had other bills, so I wasn't paying down my debt as much as I would like, so I kind of slowed that down. I moved further away from my job, so I ended up getting my license and buying a car. I was late with getting my license. My mom doesn't know how to drive. Outside of my grandmother's brother, so my uncle, I'm the only one in my family who knows how to drive. And I managed to get my license, purchased a car, and it was another thing that made me feel defeated. But I purchased the car in August of 2019, so September of 2019 was the second time I started my debt-free journey. So I went from having $21,000 in debt to having about $36,000 in debt. So I was aggressively paying down the $36,000 worth of debt. In 2020, I managed to pay $10,000 towards my debt. I was really proud of myself because it was a rough year for everyone. And I could actually see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting somewhere. Maybe I can have my debt paid down in like 3 years. If I did 10,000 this year, maybe I can do 12 next year. And I don't know if life was going too good or I got too eager, but November of 2020, I was in a car accident. Someone ran a stop sign and they hit my car, but when I was trying to like avoid them, because I seen them out the corner of my eye coming to hit my car ended up jumping a curb. Like I lost control of the car once they hit me, and it jumped the curb and hit a tree. And luckily no one was like seriously hurt. Like I banged up my hand. It hurt for like 2 months. I couldn't really like grip anything because it was my left hand, dominant hand. And I was just devastated because my car was completely totaled. I ended up having to I got my insurance covered majority of the loan, but I didn't have gap insurance, and so I had to pay a little over $1,800 to close out the old loan. I had to take out a new loan to get a new car because even though I work from home now, my job is still based in Delaware. So whenever they call me back into the office, I need to be able, to get to the next state over. So I purchased a new to me car. Had to take out a loan for that. And in November of 2020, my debt was the highest that it had ever been. And I went from having 26,000 or so to having $40,626.12. I was completely devastated because all of the work and the progress that I had made seemed like it just went down the drain. But I'm also really resilient, and I have this kind of motto, and I normally say it takes me 2 days to 2 weeks to get over something, most things, and it never really takes me a full 2 weeks. So I cried about it for like 4 days, and then I was like, okay, if I did 10,000, I can do it again. I'm going to try to do 10,000 in the year 2021, and December is when I like picked up and started my debt-free journey again. It's also when I started using YNAB for the first time. And so currently it is now May, and I have gotten my debt down to $33,999.91.
How would you evaluate your season?
I think we ain't done yet.
But you personally?
I think we ain't done yet.
So that is my long, drawn out debt story. Thank you if you stuck around and listened to me ramble about my debt. So without further ado, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I'm going to just jump right into the budget with me. This week I will be budgeting out $1,046.91. This is actually from my first paycheck in May, which is May 14th, but I am paid ahead at least a month on all of my bills. So I'm going to be budgeting this paycheck in for June, with the exception of like my personal spending and my Discover payments. Everything else is going to be budgeted into the future. So this week I'm going to be giving Discover $400. Because I'm paid ahead on most of my bills, I'm taking an extra $200 from rent. And the reason I'm giving it $400 is because my mom wasn't able to give me her portion towards me paying off her iPad. She only owes like $300 on there left. But my younger sister had came in contact with someone who had COVID, and she had to self-quarantine and miss work. So my mom had helped her out a little bit with some bills that she needed assistance with. And as a result, she couldn't give me the money towards the iPad. Again, my sister having a roof over her head is more important, so I'm just making up the difference because it won't hurt me at the moment. Next, I'm going to do my personal spending, and this week I'm giving myself $53. Okay, so now we're going to jump into June and start budgeting. Fios, which is my internet, is getting $50 as usual. Pico, which is my gas and electric, is going to be getting $50. Discover isn't getting anything at the moment, so I put that in for May. AT&T is going to be getting its normal $50. Student loan is also getting $50. And then auto loan is going to be getting $75. So now we're going to be going down to my sinking funds, and my emergency fund is going to get $20. My retirement savings account is going to be getting $10. New car is getting $10. Family planning also getting $10. And treat yourself is getting $10 as well. So next we're doing the cash envelopes, and each one of these in green except for giving is getting $10, and then giving is going to be getting the $8 that I have left over. I'm still trying to work out the perfect numbers for these. I think I'm gonna stop contributing to some of these. I'm working out goals currently at the moment. Annual subscriptions is getting $10. Car maintenance, giving that $5. And health and wellness is going to be getting $10. Then my fun money categories, I normally give $30 to this account every 2 weeks, so all of these are going to be getting $7.50. Okay, so now we're going to add in $40 to taxes. My buffer, which is my savings account, is just going to be getting $20. Holding is getting the change, so I'm going to add 91 cents there. My cushion is getting $5. And then future planning is getting my last $100. And there you have it. My budget is at $0. Sorry that this video was a little rambly and a bit longer. I just wanted to give you guys something different than the same budget with me, because like the money that I have is the money that I have. So I was just figuring I would throw something else in here. I am considering just doing like monthly budgets with me so this doesn't get too repetitive or too boring, but we will see. I do want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.